Hi guys, from a very snowy, windy, and cold Southern Ontario day. Normally I'm doing projects around the house. Sometimes I screw them up, sometimes I don't, sometimes they work out. But today I want to show you something a little bit different. Project that I like to do on days like this where it's like, minus 13 degrees Celsius. And I like to just kind of huddle down and, keep busy. This is what I've been working on lately. This is a loom that my husband had made for me several years ago, and myself and my daughter both have done projects on this loom, knitting loom. It's made out of oak. It has cut out flower pattern on the side, and there's just this little support here. It fits nice right over top of my lap when I'm working. I can sit on the sofa, sit on my bed, sit in a recliner, and it fits just perfectly. And usually if I use like a chunky yarn, I can work a scarf up and have it done in like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Depends on how into the television show that I'm watching. But if it's a hockey game, it's going to take me a little bit longer because you've got to watch the game. Today I've got a ball of, I can't even say that it's yarn, but it's really chunky. I'll tie onto here, do like a crisscross pattern. Sometimes I use all of the pegs. Sometimes I only use a few. Something like this chunky yarn, I'm only going to use a few. I'll show you how to get that set up and get it going. It'll come down through the bottom. Doesn't catch on anything because it's all sanded and varathane, and it's a few years old. It's got pine inlaid in there. He made it a little bit fancier than probably what everybody needs, but he was a woodworker, and he liked to, put his all into whatever he did for us. There's got pins on the outside, I don't know if you can see that. This is my tie-on pin. These ones on the outside are what I would keep continually wrapping around if I was going to make tassels for the end of the scarf. So I'll get it all set up, show you how to do it, and if you got somebody that's really handy, get a couple of these nails. The loom itself, it's about 24 inches. And the pins, which are just like, it's a nail. I think it's like a finishing nail, no head on it. Yarn comes off pretty easily. I think, yeah, they're about an inch. They're about an inch apart. And mine have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think I'd know that after all these years. There's 14 on each side. So we'll get that set up and show you how you can make a scarf for yourself. Get one of these looms going. Find somebody handy in your house to get it done for you. You might even be able to handle it yourself. I wish I had a huge one so I could just keep walking around it and make a blanket in like no time. But today we're going to use this yarn, and it should work up pretty quickly. Maybe in about an hour we should have something wearable. So let's get started. I'm going to tie onto this peg right here. Yeah, I'll do it in front. So just make a little knot. Just one little knot. Not tight, just something that you're going to take off afterwards after you get your yarn on the pins. I'll call them pins. I know they're nails, but I'll call them pins or pegs. So we're going to start by making the V's. I'm going to see how many. I'll just eyeball it here. I'm not going to use all of them. I'm going to stop there, come back, and then crisscross each one. I use this finger. You'll get pretty proficient at it after a while. Now, this is where we're going to take this one off. And I don't even care if I don't take that knot out because it's not going to show. It's going to be on the edge anyway. So, tie that off. Okay, we're going to push these down. So it's going to be like the old cattails that we used to do when we were kids. I don't know if you remember those. We used to use a wooden spool, and our moms or dads used to put those 4 little nails in, and we'd make those long ropes. Okay, so now we're just going to repeat the process, going back and forth. Okay. Now I'm securing it here on this peg, and I only have to do that for the first one here. Not, you'll do it every time, but whoops. Yeah, I'm going to start from this end. You kind of get proficient at working left hand and right hand. So you're going to pull the bottom one over the top. Bottom one over the top. And you're going to do the same on the opposite side. You get pretty quick. Like I'm a right-handed, but I'm using my left. Okay, now that's our first row. It's done. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to crisscross it all over again. Get to the end, come back. And that's all there is to it, guys. There's nothing. I know Christmas is over and everybody's probably thinking, oh, it'd be nice to have some Christmas gifts and homemade stuff, but you get started for next year. So this is how we do our second row, and every row is going to be the same after that. If you're using a thin yarn, you might want to use 2 strands. If you want to have different colors, you can add 2 different colors, and so on and so on. But if you're using something really thin, you're going to have a thin scarf, and it might be long, but it might not be thick, and you know, you want to be warm, especially on a day like today. It's my grandson waking up from his nap. He wouldn't wear a scarf for nothing. I can barely keep a hat on him, but he's cute. Okay, so every time you're going to pull the bottom over the top, just watch that you don't drop a stitch. And I've had to pull these all out before because I'm like, what the hell do I do now? Okay, so it's going to start coming through the bottom. I'll show you a little bit there. Start coming through the bottom there. And it doesn't look like much now, but as you get going, you just continue doing this. Just continue zigzag, 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 and bottom over the top, and that's it. When you get to your desired length, then I can show you what we're going to do next to take your stitches off. And then if you want to make tassels, that's another thing that you decide at the end. But you get to your desired length, and I'll come back and show you how to finish it off. Okay, so this is, sorry guys, my grandson's crying here. This is how it works out. It works out pretty easy. It's very stretchy. And this is the bottom of it. You can put your tassels on if you choose to, or you can kind of bunch it up like that. There's lots of different ways that you can do it. But anyway, it's working out pretty good. This is about 20 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of distracted loom knitting with the baby up now. Anyway, just keep on going. Keep on going.
What are you getting into, monkey?
Okay, so here we are at the end. I'm at the end of my, well, literally at the end of my rope. I thought I was going to do one more row, but I'm not going to. So I'm just going to show you how to take it off. Well, first, let me show you. It's been about just over an hour, maybe an hour-ish. And I've got, you know, just probably a regular size scarf length. And like I said, it works out really quick because it's a thicker yarn. A lot of noise in my kitchen today, guys. Sorry. My daughter's getting supper ready. So you're going to take the bottom one, put it over to the other side. Take all the ones on the bottom here and put it onto the peg on the other side. Oh, see, that one almost came off. You got to be careful. You don't want to drop any stitches. Somebody's hungry in this house.
Hey, ready to eat?
He likes to eat. Okay, once we get them all off. Okay, now, same like we did before. Bottom over top, bottom over top,
On your butt, please.
bottom over top. Always be mindful that these can come off, and you don't want to lose that stitch, because I don't know, I might be the village idiot, but Every once in a while I do it and I can't remember how to fix it. So I end up taking it all apart. A little bit more light here. Yeah, it didn't work. Okay, so now I'm going to go and take this first one here, and we're going to bring it over to this one. Bottom over top. Now we're going to go to the next one. God bless you. Bottom over top. So, and so on and so on. So now we're going to go to the next one. So we're just kind of gathering them all on this last stitch. Going to be all gathered. I might be doing this wrong. See? I might be doing it the opposite way. Well, if I am, then I am. No, that's not the end of the video, but anyway. Yeah, because I'm not restarting this, guys. Sometimes you have to learn from my mistakes. Okay, we're going to go over. Yeah, I might have done it. I might have done it a little bit because I'm getting tight now because the yarn is so thick and we're all on one stitch. Yeah, I've done it backwards. Whatever. Well, I'm gathering up the end anyway. So now I'm on the last peg. That one over. Bottom over the top. Now. Okay, sorry guys. Something happened with my iPad. So this is my last one that I've pulled over. Now I'm going to take it off. And before I do anything else, I'm going to secure it just by running this, the last piece of my yarn through there. Careful not to pull this stuff too tight. It breaks pretty easily. Okay, now I'm going to let that drop inside. And this is what the end looks like. Now it's all kind of snugged up there because I got to secure this now. So anyway, I don't have a needle with me here, but this is what your end is going to look like. So that's not too bad. So what you're going to do is you're going to gather up this end. I can even use this piece here. Let's see what I can do. Bring that in there. It's not going to be as snug as what the other one is. I could use a crochet hook and I could gather with the crochet hook too. Just weave it in and out. And gather this in. Or this is where you could add the tassels too if you wanted the tassels along the bottom there. But I'm just kind of weaving it in and out so that you can see that you can make both ends look the same. Hopefully this video isn't too long, boring. Some days I wish I could do a blooper reel because let me tell you, now maybe I am the village idiot. Some of the things I come up with. Okay, so now I've just kind of weaved it in. And then you can kind of gather it so this end will look the same as this end. Now if you wanted to do an infinity scarf, this is where you would sew your piece together like that. And you could do like an infinity scarf. But anyway, that's it. It works up really fast. And let's see, I'll put it on. I'll show you the... Okay, so here it is. It's really stretchy. I could stretch it out a little bit longer. You know, it's whatever. It is what it is. It's kind of cool. You can wrap it around twice. It's a good... This is one ball. I mean, if I added to it, you could do something, a little cowl. You could do whatever. Anyway, it's very thick. I might just pull it all back out again because I really didn't want to make a scarf with this. You can pull it out really easy too. So that's it, guys. In an hour, you can make something like that. Take up some of your free time. You could have a gift ready for, you know, somebody's birthday the next day. And weather like this, you can't really tell now that the window's all steamed up, but it is snowy outside in southwestern Ontario. And there's no hockey until Friday, so there might be 5 more scarves coming. Bye, guys.